What's up, Warrior Rising family? I am Alyssa, and we are here in the incredible Washington, D.C., saluting her service. And we are celebrating the incredible women entrepreneurs out there. And we have 5 that just competed, so we're about to hear from them in what we call the rapid fire interview session. So first on deck, I would like to welcome Fundraiser Blankets.
Thank you.
Hello.
So this is super exciting, but I'm going to start with like a fun question. So let's say you work in a warehouse or your office, wherever you do the most work. Let's say it's on fire. No people or animals are harmed in the process. What is the one item you would save?
My laptop.
100%. Everything is on our laptop.
Okay. So that was way too easy for both of you. So far in Warrior Rising, the experience that you've had so far, we had an ugly sweater Christmas contest. We had the business shower that everyone just pitched. What's been the most valuable thing you've taken away from this experience so far?
Oh my gosh. The women that I've met are incredible. And the fact that they've just met me and are able to support me like they have been and are able to encourage me and cheer me on is just breathtaking. I just can't believe it. It's they're just so supportive. They're so supportive.
Absolutely.
It's like a family that I just met yesterday.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you have anything different, Joanna?
I think everybody's been really encouraging. I think last night at dinner I met my mentor. So he was sitting to my left. So he was very encouraging on kind of just validating what we're doing and the importance of it. And we kind of talked a lot about imposter syndrome, which he also struggled with, and something we still struggle with after all these years, because we just look at everything sometimes from far away and we think, how did we do this? And is
was
this
it
real?
really us? Yes.
Yes. So just kind of
that.
validating that and helping you appreciate what you've built.
Yeah, I love that. As women in the space of business entrepreneurship, what do you think women bring to the table that makes it incredible?
I think that we as a team, we bring so much grit.
Yeah.
And we bring so much determination and so much stubbornness, because she and I know we can do it. She and I know we can do whatever we want. And she and I know we can succeed. But it is showing yourself to everybody else, and it is persuading everybody else that you can do what you know that you can do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think women are especially amazing at hard work and determination, because we have to fight. We have to fight harder. We have to fight more. So.
Absolutely. I love that answer. So I didn't announce this, but you two are sisters.
Yes.
So as someone who has 3 sisters myself, we're very close. How is it working with family?
It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
We argue a lot, but I think that we make a great partnership. I am very much about the processes, about the numbers, about...
We're opposites.
Having things lined up, and she is our creative brain. She's our developer. She is bringing on new business. She's meeting new people. Mm-hmm. So I think we make a good partnership.
Yeah, we make a good partnership, and we're immigrants. And so when we came here, our mom was always so busy working that Barbara kind of took care of everybody. So I think she's always had that mother role. So I've always respected her so much that in business, we don't really have to argue, because we just respect each other and believe that we can do what we're good at and kind of stick to those roles. Yeah. So we don't really fight. And that is like being in the entrepreneur community. We've heard a lot of stories about bad partnerships, and also bad stories about working with family. It could turn really bad really fast. Yeah. And we have been just so blessed with not having to deal with that.
Not too much of it.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of yin yang.
Really, yes.
Really.
Yes.
You're not the exact same people. You're not 2 chefs trying to cook in the same kitchen.
Not at all. Yes. I don't want her. Yeah. She doesn't want to be in my kitchen. I don't want to be in hers.
Not even a little bit.
That's awesome. That's perfect. The beautiful, combination. What's been the most impactful piece of advice that you've used in your business, or a mantra, or something that you just live by with Fundraiser Blankets?
I think the biggest thing that's affected me, it was a piece of advice that we got from someone at some point, is you're never going to have everything perfect, and you're never going to have everything ready. If you think you're ready enough, just go for it. Yeah. Just go for it. Don't try to rework things and make things better and reorganize and improve, because it's never going to be perfect. And when you actually jump into it and start working on it, things just figure themselves out. You know what you have to fix. You know what you have to make better.
Yeah.
And
Get
I've
started
just-
and figure it out along the way.
Get started and figure out along the way, for sure, 100%.
Because so many people have ideas, but they never act on them.
Yeah.
And that's really what, we're not special. I mean, we don't feel like we're
Right.
anything above it. Yeah, I mean,
We
maybe
just jump, but we just jump into
we
it.
just
and
jump
we just
in and
figure
do
out.
it and try and then see what works. We're very resourceful. And then
Yeah.
what doesn't work, we just keep going. But we also know when we come to a point where we need help from somebody else.
Yeah.
And we know that we don't know everything. And I think that makes the difference. And just when you do have an idea, just go for it and try it and see what happens.
Yes, that kind of leads into my next question. The piece of advice to other women entrepreneurs out there specifically, what is that piece of advice you'd give them who, if they have an idea, if they've already started, maybe they failed, what is that?
I
Just
think
go.
exactly that.
Just go.
Yeah.
Just try it. Just try it. Just try it and see what sticks. We've tried so many different things, and some of them didn't work. Some of our ideas didn't work at all.
There were many things before fundraiser blankets that we
Oh, wow.
tried.
And
There were.
But then something will stick because you keep on building on your mistakes. You keep on learning from your mistakes, and you keep on making yourself and your business better. Just go for it. My advice is to just go.
You could start with one thing and
Yeah.
thinking that's where your business is going, kind of like a career, right? You think you're
Yeah.
going to do this forever, and then something sparks and you realize, oh my gosh, I think I can apply this product to something completely else, which is what happened to us.
Yeah.
And here we are today. And just like I said in my pitch earlier, be relentless.
love
Don't take
that.
no for an answer and keep trying, even if someone shuts the door in your face. Find another way to do it.
Awesome. Great pieces of advice.
Mm-hmm.
If your business were any type of animal or spirit animal, doesn't have to be real, it could be mythical,
Mm-hmm.
what would it be and why?
Birds. I would say an owl for me and probably a hummingbird for you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So why?
We're obsessed with birds.
You just love birds.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to tell her why?
you
I'll
tell
tell
her.
her why. So when we immigrated, I mean, this sounds so sad, but it was watching birds is free. And we both had a little book with all the different bird species and were able to check off the different birds that we saw. And just, they were so freeing, right? Birds are so free. And it just kind of, it was almost an analogy for our lives. We wanted to be that free one day. We wanted to be able to go out there and see what we could do once we had the opportunity. And so our first company, that's kind of still part of this company, is called Birdie Boutique. I mean, that's how into birds
Yeah.
we are. We just absolutely love them. And at the beginning, when we first started, we thought everybody loved birds as much as us, and all of our products had birds on them.
And that
then-
did not work out.
No, and then we realized, wow, not everybody loves birds like we do.
I like that though. Bird watching is free.
Yes.
It's awesome. It's like touch grass
Yes.
sometimes, you know.
Yes.
Yes, nature,
Yeah.
going back to nature.
I love that. So, in kind of closing, what is your thoughts on Warrior Rising, the community, the networking, everything about it? What sticks with you, and why did you choose Warrior Rising? I asked 1,000 questions in one, so answer whichever ones you remember.
I think it is so great to be part of a community where you know everybody cares. Everybody's been so welcoming and so encouraging on, hey, if you need something, reach out to us. Our network is so big that we will find somebody to help you if we don't know how to help you, or to give you the advice that you might be needing in your company. So I think just the network, but also all of the courses that are being offered, and just being able to email somebody and someone emails you right back with a piece of advice or where you can find something, especially through this process specifically. I feel like Warrior Rising has held our hands, but in such a good, supportive way to help us prepare, be our best selves for this opportunity,
Absolutely.
and just how we represent ourselves in business.
Awesome. So, in closing, where can we find Fundraiser Blankets? How can we connect with you? How can we buy from you? Let everyone know.
Sure, it's actually fundraiserblankets.com, and you can order custom blankets for your school or sports team, or really any nonprofit or company. We'd be really happy to help.
Absolutely. I appreciate you both coming on here. Much luck. You did incredible today. For
Thank
those who don't
you.
get to see the pitch, it's like one of my favorite parts of the entire week. It's so much fun. Very innovative. These incredible women, like I said, we are celebrating them this week. So thank you again for coming on, and the best of luck today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Welcome back with Warrior Rising rapid fire interviews with the incredible veterans competing at Saluting Her Service. Next up, we have Katie. Welcome, Katie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So first, tell us if your business, actually tell us what your business is in like the shortest amount of time, less than 7 minutes like today.
So my business is Grit and Grog Clay Company. I'm a pottery studio located in Springfield, Massachusetts,
Awesome.
and I help people heal their mental health through the art of clay.
Love that. And her pitch was freaking incredible. If, obviously you probably were not there. But if your business was like a superhero, what would its superpower be?
Its superpower would be healing,
I love that.
where it could instantly heal people.
Yeah. So if it were then like a mystical or real animal, what would it be?
Probably a unicorn.
And why?
Because there's so few things in this world that really get to that core of healing that needs to happen to really allow that transformation.
I love that. I love that. It was such a quick answer too. It was awesome. So as a female veteran entrepreneur, what do you think, women bring to the table in business that's just different than men?
Well, I think women bring a lot of diversity, and they're so great at multitasking, where I don't know if you're married, but my husband can't multitask for anything. So it's really great to be able to have so many balls going at the same time and keep them all in the air.
Awesome. I love that. And what makes a great entrepreneur? Like, what are some tenets of like what, you bring to the table, such as like grit? I know that's like part of,
Yeah, absolutely. So it's right in the name there. Grit and Grog Clay Company. We're full of grit. We are absolutely pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and really take on the world one problem at a time.
I love that. One problem at a time. That's a good way to look at it. So to other entrepreneurs out there looking to start their own business, or maybe they've already started it, what is that piece of advice you'd give them?
Make sure it's something that you're super passionate about, because I go to work every day and it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I am fulfilling my soul's purpose.
Yeah.
And so I think that is one of the biggest things that somebody starting a business could take from me, is that passion and fire inside of you is really important with conveying the message that you're trying to with your business.
Absolutely. So when it comes to, running your business and everything that you're juggling in life, how do you not necessarily find balance, but what do you do to decompress? How do you get through each day?
So it used to be, it's funny, before pottery became my full-time job, that was my decompression.
Okay.
And so now I've had to incorporate different things. One of the things that I got out of the Warrior Rising cohort from you actually was you told us to start implementing skills one at a time and for a period of time until they stuck, and then add more. And so that is something that from the Warrior Rising cohort that I've actually been doing regularly to kind of make sure to bring that balance back to myself, because it's something I really was struggling with at that time.
That's awesome. And that just brought a little smile to my face. I'm like, that's so cool. So that was the Warrior University, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. So with entrepreneurship in general, with all the, business owners you've met so far, with, the Ugly Sweater contest, we had the pitch conference, what has been the most valuable piece of advice you're leaving with?
I think the most valuable piece is the tribe that I'll be living with.
Yeah.
How amazing the contacts that I've gotten here, and knowing that when I'm struggling in business, I have all of these amazing people that I can reach out to and come up with a solution.
Awesome. That's really incredible. What other pieces of advice have you used to, propel your business or to even start it up? Or maybe it's a mantra or something you've heard. What has really helped you become a better business?
So one thing that pottery really taught me was how to fail forward, and that you will make 10 pieces and maybe 8 of them come out of the fire. You're going to lose pieces. On my trip here, I lost half of the inventory that I brought in my suitcase.
Wow.
And so it's really just about adjusting to that pivot point and knowing that, okay, things are going to mess up, but I can take this and move forward from this point right now. I don't need to look back and see all the mistakes and all the wreckage that got me here. All I have to do is go forward.
Yeah, that's a great piece of advice. So as far as like marketing or maybe social media, is there a platform that you like to use to promote your business, or is it something?
So a lot of my business promotion has happened a lot on the Facebook local groups.
Okay.
So I use those to really get the word out on my classes and to help get people into the studio.
Yeah, and you might have answered this one, but what legacy are you're hoping to leave with your business?
I'm hoping to leave the legacy of better mental health and mental wellness. Because I think that there's 2 different pieces to that. We talk about mental health, but there's also the mental wellness component of like the whole mind, body, spirit connection of that total wellness. And I think that pottery is a great vehicle to help promote that.
Yeah, and I saw during your pitch as well that, there's competitors, so to speak, right? People doing pottery. But would you say that they're not doing what you're doing?
No, nobody's doing what I'm doing. So one of the big problems that I found from the pottery studio community is there's not a set curriculum. So if you sign up for a pottery class, it's up to the instructor on how they're going to run that class. At our pottery studio, we have set curriculum for each class. And so it's building upon skills week after week without having to really without that hope that somebody knows that they're not going to be able to take you there.
Yeah. Awesome. So are there any books that you read or podcasts that you recommend to anyone, or, because I'm always looking to expand my library myself. So
I love Cashvertising.
Okay.
I think that's a really great one for doing marketing strategy. Mm-hmm. And then one of my other favorite books was Mastery.
Okay.
By Robert Greene, I believe.
Cool. So let's say your studio at your house it's burning down. Okay. No people or humans, or obviously people are humans. Humans or animals are harmed in the process. They're off the table. What's the one thing you would save from your studio?
Probably the first piece of pottery I made.
Okay.
So every class, when I start a new class, the first class, I like to show my students my first piece of pottery, which is awful. It's so heavy. I could knock somebody out with it. And I let them see, hey, I came right where you're at right now.
Yeah.
I'm just way further on the journey.
Yeah.
And so that really kind of, I think, gives people motivation and encouragement that, hey, I'm going to watch her throw really great, but she hasn't always been this great.
Yeah.
And maybe I can get there too.
It's humanizing.
Exactly.
I like that. That's awesome. So what is your favorite part about being a business owner?
My favorite part about being a business owner is really the connections that I've made with my customers. I love getting to see people grow and getting that success week after week, and that mental resiliency start to build when you lose a piece. But you know what? Not a big deal. I'll just get another ball of clay and I'll do it again.
Yeah, that's a good piece of advice. So for everyone listening right now, where can they find you? Where can they work with you, get a class, anything?
So you can find me on all social media platforms. It's Grit Grog Clay Co. And my website is gritgrogclay.co.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate having you on, Katie. Best of luck to you. Incredible work today. And I'm excited to see you grow.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. We are back. Rapid fire session in Washington, D.C. And next up, we have fire-baked cookies. So welcome on.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So my first question, I always like it to be a little bit fun. So if your business, let's say actually you two are in a movie, who would play your characters?
George Clooney, for sure.
I like it.
I have no idea.
Who would you pick for her?
Oh, that's a good one.
Or who's the first actress that popped in your head?
Anne Hathaway.
There we go. I like it. And that's a great actress to have, too. But yeah, so with the pitch competition we just had, you probably got to talk to some judges, staff, people in the audience, other veterans. What has been the most valuable thing or handshake you've had, conversation you've had?
I think Abby from Amazon, who
Awesome.
encouraged some legal advice and direct-to-consumer advice. So
Yeah. So how did you feel going into the pitch competition? How did you prepare for this?
we practice our pitch over and over and over again.
Yeah.
We edit it like 500 times.
At least.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
and then we just practiced over and over again.
Yeah. So if you could tell me so for everyone listening, your mission in a condensed form, what's your mission statement in like a minute?
Sure. We're
Cookies for a cause, right?
yeah.
That's our mission. So.
Cookies for a cause to give back to
Yeah.
injured firefighters because we walk those shoes.
Awesome. And would you say you're born entrepreneurs? Is it something that you've grown into? Because a lot of people, they just known since birth that they're like,
Absolutely.
I'm meant to own businesses.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. This was born out of his deployment and the strength that we gained from his deployment. And so.
Yeah, that's awesome. And being a woman in the space too, obviously you're a couple doing this together, but what do you think women bring to the table in business that, really complement that space?
Women bring grace, kindness, strength.
Yeah.
There's a fierceness in there too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. She puts the fire in fire baked cookies.
Ironically, yes, she does.
That's awesome. Yeah. So with being entrepreneurs, what is your absolute like favorite part of owning your own business?
It's personal, pushing yourself, seeing how far you can go, just as individuals and as a couple.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is the family side, right? Watching our kids watch us and absorb like sponges all of the things that we're doing, and then just casually mentioning things that they pick up on that they've seen us do over the time,
Yeah.
and just seeing that is like that's kind of an inspiration. Of like, okay, we got to keep going. So
Yeah.
just little things like that.
Yeah. So what tenets do you think are important or pillars are important to being a good, business owner?
Perseverance.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Well, we'll
purpose.
just go with our company's core values in this one: community, perseverance,
Growth mindset.
and growth mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is an interesting question because we had a couple of sisters on in the past. We've had other couples as well. How is it like? How do you manage working as a family? As you're co-owners of something. Is there difficulty, or how have you made it work and succeed? Because I've heard some crazy stories of how it ends up in flames. So
I believe it. Well, I think we balance each other well. I'm on one end of the spectrum, he's on the other. So we
Polar
have,
opposites on basically everything.
yeah, so we bring each other to the middle ground where it can work.
it's that
But I
yin and
can-
yang.
Yeah. I mean,
It works. Don't ask me how. Tried and true method.
Yeah. So let's say wherever you work out of, it's your office space, it's your manufacturer, something like that. Let's say something burns down that has like all your stuff in it, right? No people, animals are harmed. What is the one thing you would save? And you can each save one thing, let's say, from that space. What would it be?
From our home.
Well, from
From like your
the
workspace.
business space,
Your business space.
what would we save in a fire from a business space? What's important to you from the
Oh, our startup CPG award, the Baking Mix of the Year award. Was,
that was same.
Same thing as you?
Yeah, that was pretty neat. I mean, earning that award within the first year of business for being a baking mix of the year, it's just kind of neat, to be a part of that and honored with it.
Yeah. So you're a military spouse, you're military or ex-military, correct?
Yeah, retired.
Yeah.
Retired
So
Navy.
what things have you brought from your military service into the business world that have really that sets you apart from maybe someone who's a civilian background?
I know we have, a history of resilience, right? Adapt and overcome is one of the biggest sayings that I can remember
Yeah.
in 22 years. So being able to just adapt, flow, and be flexible whenever something turns up, because inevitably in entrepreneurship, there is going to be things you didn't see coming. And so being able to, pivot and adjust is probably the biggest takeaway.
I like that. Resilient and adapt. So what makes your product different than what else you can find on the shelf as far as cookies?
Sure.
Yeah.
We're not the first baking mix out there. It's our quality, our superior quality. Our cookies are thick, crispy, and gooey, and people love that combination.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a cookie mix on the grocery store shelves that makes a cookie like ours.
Yeah. And I know I heard during the pitch, but how did that start? Yeah.
Well, Wilson was deployed to Africa, and I was home with the 3 kids by myself, and it was very challenging. There was a lot of anxiety, unknowns, and I started baking just as a form of therapy, and I set out a mission to create the world's best chocolate chip cookie. And he came home, we shared these cookies, people fell in love, and we found a gap in the market, and here we are.
It's an incredible story. Sounds awesome.
Thank you.
If you could solve anything in the world, like any problem in this world, other than what, the problem that your business solves, let's
Right.
say, what would that be?
World hunger came first thing to my mind.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Yeah.
Obviously, peace would be the biggest one, but we're all humans. We should just be able to be good humans to each other. So
Yeah.
being able to solve that at a small scale would be great, but obviously
Yeah. Now, a really popular topic with entrepreneurs and business owners is marketing. How do you market your business, or is there a platform you go to that's been super, successful for you?
Sure, we're on all the social medias. Word of mouth is huge for us, and demos, getting our cookies into the hands of people, is the best.
Yeah, once you taste it, you'll understand. Without tasting it, it'll speak for itself the first time you give it a try.
Absolutely. I need to have one now because I'm getting a little hungry up in here. No, but I appreciate you guys coming on. Can you tell us where we can find Fire Baked Cookies, how we can connect with you, buy from you, all of the things?
Sure. We're at firebakedcookies.com for our website, and Facebook, Instagram, Fire Baked Cookies.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you both coming on. The best of luck. Excellent work today. You're making an impact, whether you know it or not.
Thank you.
I like to tell everyone everyone who comes through Warrior Rising is, making an impact. So.
Well, we appreciate you guys so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Yeah. Welcome back, Warrior Rising Tribe. Another session of rapid fire interviews with the incredible veterans out here in Washington, D.C. And next up, we have Peyton Sickles with Sick Fit. What's up?
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, absolutely. It was awesome to watch you today. And I just wanted to ask, I always like to ask a really fun icebreaker to begin with, right? So if your entrepreneurial journey or your business journey, whatever you want to call it, were a movie, who would play your character?
Oh, man, that is a really fun question. I never got that before. Wow. I love Mark Wahlberg, so I'm just going to say Mark Wahlberg.
That's awesome.
He's great. He's diverse. He's, just a great actor.
What's your favorite movie with him in it?
Four Brothers.
But okay. I just watched one with him recently, and it's older. It's with Denzel Washington, and I can't think of it.
He is my second favorite actor, so that's great.
Yeah, I love Denzel.
Training Day. Wasn't he in Training Day?
Training Day.
Yeah.
Epic freaking movie.
Classic.
Anyways, now that we're going to talk about movies the entire time.
I love it. That's exactly why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. So with your entrepreneur, your journey, everything like that, where did you start with Sick Fit? And explain what Sick Fit is actually first, because people listening probably weren't at the pitch.
Yes. So Sick Fit is a socks company dedicated to really just changing the world one sock at a time in 3 different industries. And that's the healthcare space through healthcare providers, the military, and the pro sports space. But to answer your second question on how we really got here it was just being in the military and experiencing a problem. It was chasing a lot of those accolades that everybody loves to see on the uniform, which is air assault, expert soldier, doing all the cool stuff. And my feet weren't withstanding the conditions. Like all the blisters, all the, the bleeding, the pain. And I was spending $200 of socks a month. It was just crazy when you think about it.
That's wild.
And I was just like, I want to fix it. And what can I do? So I just went around the world, started trying a bunch of socks, and it worked. And people were like, hey, you need to sell this outside of the military. And I was like, hey, okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I saw you had an Olympian up there. And what's that story? Explain us.
Oh, that's super organic. It was just cold DMs, honestly. I started DMing a bunch of Olympic athletes and Paralympic athletes. And we had 2 Paralympic athletes respond. And then we had 2 Olympic athletes, one from the Netherlands, one from the U.S. respond. Yeah. And honestly, I really value the Paralympians, especially Brittany Mason. She's phenomenal. Oh my gosh, our energies match. And we actually were shooting her journey up into LA awesome. 2028. But I feel like they don't get the recognition that they deserve. And I feel like, a lot of people have their kind of those underdogs and that underdog story. And I love that. So I really want to highlight her these next 4 years and really continue to tell her story with us alongside Sick Fit.
That's incredible. And I believe in storytelling so much. So if you could briefly put in your story, what would it be?
Wow. My story, I like to live by something called great men move slowly. And my dad instilled that into me. Yeah. And really what that means is with patience, perseverance, persistence, and resilience, you can do anything in life. Yeah. And I had 2 ACL reconstructs back to back, and then the second one didn't go so well. They hit a nerve in my leg, so I don't really have feeling from my knee down. And then after that, I got the Pfizer vaccine. The Pfizer vaccine messed up my heart. Oh. And then I had 2 herniated discs in my back and 2 bulging discs in my back. And it was like, gosh, Peyton, you just can't catch a break. Mm-hmm. And at the time, it was I was fighting it. I wanted to stay in the military. And I was just this is all I know. Mm-hmm. But I was being poured toward the entrepreneurship journey. And ever since I started, it's just been night and day. And, I've been focused. And God showed me a different light. And He said, you're meant for this. And here I am.
Yeah, which is incredible. That's an incredible story. What do you think women bring to the space as entrepreneurs and in business that is, different from others? What do you bring to the space?
I think we think different. You know,
Yeah.
we pay attention to the small things a little bit closer, and that's what sets us apart. And we can really, truly be innovative and really figure out how to implement those things and solve those problems. Because, you know, women, I feel like women naturally just, they have a little, you know, something in them. It's like a little spark. You're like, I don't know. But I think that for the most part, it's just we pay attention more, and, you know, it's proven every day that women entrepreneurs are just crushing it.
They're taking over the world.
Absolutely.
Here we come.
One stock at a time.
Yeah, one stock at a time. So you can't forget that part. But yeah, so with entrepreneur, what makes a great entrepreneur? What are the tenets, pillars that you live by and that you think most the entrepreneurs that you've met live by?
Being coachable.
Yeah.
Coachable, listening, and really just being focused and really just putting your money where your mouth is. We don't know everything, and just continue. Just be authentic. That's my biggest piece of advice is that's where I found a lot of my success, and just kind of just being me, you know. Same thing for our Olympic athletes. They're like, Peyton, we love you. I don't care what it is. You don't have to pay us, but we just want to support you and see you at the next level, and just kind of people continue to taking those leaps on you. So I think it's just being authentic and just really focused and diligent.
Yeah, and I like that authentic piece, and I kind of want to touch on that because we had a conversation last night at the restaurant, but also you had said something interesting at the pitch competition where, you know, someone had asked you a question, you were just like, honestly, it's just me. You know, your answer was like, when they talk to me, because when I had a conversation with you, I told you, I was like, I had a good feeling. So I'm like, you're just someone that asks good questions. So, and more, I said more than that, but I know we have a short time. So like, explain kind of how did you step into that? Were you always this way? Who's your inspiration? How did you get to be like this?
I don't know. I have 3 siblings, and I'm in the middle. And they always say I'm like the odd one out. Like I'm the only one.
Same here.
Like,
Number 2. Yeah.
I'm the only one that's like this. And they joke now, but as a kid, I always like say this. I couldn't say picture at the time, and I'd be like, "Dad, take a picture of me," like you know. And I've always just been this like light with a smile, and you know, I had braces, so I felt like after I got my braces off, I was just gonna smile and project that onto the world. Yeah. COVID was hard for me because, like, you know, I use my smile to kind of, you know, change the energy of a room. But honestly, like, I just want to hear people's story. We have 2 ears for a reason. Just really figure out, like, you know, how can I support you or how can I help you, and just let's talk. So
yeah, I love that. And from personal experience, I can say that's at 100%, like 150% true.
Oh,
so,
thank you. I appreciate that.
all the love over here. Yeah. So we've spent a few days here, right, with Warrior Rising so far. What has been your key takeaway or most important thing that's happened?
Y'all are amazing. I love Warrior Rising. That's I'm gonna start right there. It's just his family, and you can see that. And I think the biggest thing is you work with a lot of different organizations. You do a lot of incubators. You do all these things that you grow and scale your business, but y'all are the truth, and what y'all say, I really do, and I appreciate you all, and I'm honored to be here, and I know, like, yeah, like even like just today, and just I'm excited to be alongside this journey with you all and be a part of the family.
Yeah, well, I'll be one of the first to welcome you to the tribe officially.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So with Sick Fit, there's another fun question. If it had a mascot, or if it was an animal, it could be mythical, it could be real. What would it be and why? Oh, you haven't been asked this one either.
No. I asked the good questions. Remember me?
Yeah.
I'm going to say a lion. You know, it's the lions have heart. And it's kind of like the queen or king of the jungle. And, you know, they're that silent predator until, you know, they have to be like attacked or whatever it is. And it's like when they are attacked, it's like, all right, I own this. So I would say a lion. And they're consistent, persistent, and they're strong, and just, you know, they get back up.
Yeah,
So.
I love that. What's been the biggest piece of advice or mantra you've lived by with business?
I have a few, actually.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
The first one I always love to say, buy yourself the flowers and smell them. And what that means is really just as you complete those milestones within your business, celebrate them. You know, that's important. You know, you're not the same company you was 3 years ago, so continue to look back and look at your journey. And then I would say thank the naysayers. They drive us and they keep us up at night, but they help us in our business because it means so much more when you achieve it. So those are my 2.
Yeah. So what else would you kind of give, if you could give advice to an entrepreneur, maybe it's a female, maybe it's not, whatever, they're a veteran entrepreneur, they're getting out of the military, they want to start a business, maybe they already have the idea, maybe they don't. What's that piece of advice you'd give them?
I would say keep going and believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And then taking that one step further is, you know, it's stay focused to your mission and why you really started the company. I think it's easy to get lost in where the money comes in different ways. Like, you know, even for us, just from experience, we experimented and delved into like the streetwear aspect, but it was getting distracted from what our true mission was and what we really set out to be, and that's being the #1 sock company in the world.
Yeah.
And when that happened, like, you know, how to get realigned and refocused. So just really stay focused on your mission and why you started the company.
Absolutely. Great piece of advice. And to kind of close us out, where can we find you? Where can we find SickFit? How can we buy your socks, try them, all that good stuff?
Yes, so we're everywhere on all social media platforms at SickFit Official, and our website is sickfitofficial.com. We have a lovely sock subscription. I love to send socks monthly to your door. And then for me, it's Paid in Sickles on across all platforms as well.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate you having on. Best of luck. You did excellent today, and it's really awesome to, again, welcome you into the Warrior Rising tribe.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the family.
Absolutely. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. We are the last one of our rapid fire interviews with the 5 incredible women entrepreneurs that are competing here in Washington, D.C. And next up, we have the owner of Delta Pro Services. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So glad to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been great.
It's awesome. So explain to everyone in less than 7 minutes this time the mission of your business.
The mission of our business is to transform the energy infrastructure that we're facing currently with the current demand of EV charging stations and outdated electrical systems all over the nation, really.
Yeah, which is incredible work. So here's a fun one, a little bit of an icebreaker, I guess you could say, but your entrepreneurial journey, maybe it's your military journey too, everything put together. If it were a movie, who is playing your character? Any famous person?
Oh, gosh.
And if you don't know, who is the first person that just came to your mind?
Maybe Demi Moore.
Demi Moore? Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a good one. Cool. So with the time you've spent here with Warrior Rising, the team, the cohort that you're competing with, what's been the biggest takeaway that you've received?
The camaraderie. It feels, going back to those military days where, we're all competing at a PT day, but at the end of the day, we're all rooting for each other and wanting us, every single one, to win in our own individual ways. I feel like that's the biggest takeaway that we can all take from this experience.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. People usually touch on the network or the camaraderie that there is, because we're a family at the end of the day, we say, because we don't just disappear after the event's done. Like, we're in your corner.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what's the biggest piece of advice, or what have you carried with you through your business ownership days that, maybe it's a mantra of yours that you carry with you?
Resilience, discipline, and definitely continue to push yourself hard every single time, even in those low moments where you think you want to just raise your hands up and give up. Continue to move forward, and everything will work out at the end the way it needs to work out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what do you think makes a great entrepreneur?
Again, resilience. You have to be able to have that tenacity within you and that drive to continue to thrive and knock on those doors and talk to every single person you come across about your business, about your venture, about your vision, about your dreams. That's the only way that you're going to get through. It's just like you're constantly at a job interview with every single person you come in contact with.
No, absolutely. And, seeing as we're celebrating women entrepreneurs this week, specifically veteran and military spouses, what do you think women bring to the table of business that, it's different in the, whatever you want to call it, the sphere that we're in or whatever?
I feel like women are we find ourselves like we don't have an option but to make it happen every single time. We're very organized. Not that men aren't, but we're more organized than men. And we just bring that, hey, we still got to wake up every morning and we still have to we got to do what we have to do, get the kids up, go to work, continue to on our business venture, pushing our husbands to do the best they can, or even our other friends to do the best they can and be there for them.
Yeah, and I know we had mentioned yesterday at dinner that, we both were stationed at Fort Bragg at some point.
Yeah.
And so what do you think, did you think your military service has helped you be a better business leader?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone, and I was telling my husband this yesterday, I think everyone should have some sort of a military experience in their life, whether it's ROTC, whether they go into active duty or reserves. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you, even if you're for a short period of time, it just shapes your character so much and prepares you for what goes on in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you're probably face challenges, right? All of us do as humans, but as a business owner, I can imagine those challenges are a lot because I know you're juggling a full-time job, you're juggling being a
Yep.
business owner. It's a lot of things at once. How do you approach those challenges and get through them?
How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. You take it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. You live in the present. You're mindful every single time on what task you're completing at that moment. And you keep pushing forward and you keep like scratching off things off your task list. And you keep conquering the world little by little.
One bite at a time. I really like that.
One bite at a time.
So what's been the most impactful or inspirational thing that's happened since you've been in business?
We hit a point in mid-July where I was ready to lift my arms and say, you know what? We're done. I'm done. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. And we got this random call through LinkedIn. It was a big company in Tennessee, and they say, hey, do you want to go in business with us to do a big project for a big hotel in Orlando, one of the major hotels? And that was our hit.
Wow.
That was a big hit. And that's where I said, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And we're meant to do this. We're going to continue to thrive. And then we received the news that I was going to be here at Warrior Rising. So things have continued to grow. And I've had the experience here to meet other people. And our hopes keep growing every single day.
That's awesome. And so there's always like a silver lining, you know, when you have that grit and tenacity to keep going.
Absolutely.
Amazing things happen.
Yep.
Which is incredible. For other transitioning veterans, what would be your piece of advice to them starting on their own entrepreneurial journey?
Take advantage of all the resources that you have before you leave the military. Definitely go through all those courses. I can't remember the exact name, but I know that there's a professional course that they prepare you for, whether you're going to go into business or resume writing. Work with the VA. There's a VA program also that can help you shape yourself to get involved and further into your career. Take advantage of your GI Bill. Go to school. Go to school. Your degree is not going to give you the job you want, but it's definitely going to shape your character even more as you come out the military to be a more responsible person, a more assertive person in everything that you do moving forward. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, it'll definitely shape you to have those skills that you need to run a business.
No, absolutely. And if you were, you know, to face your 6-year-old self today, right? You as you now, and you could say anything you could to the 6-year-old version of you, what would it be?
Stay in school. Don't leave your parents' house till you're 25. And definitely get a good degree before, you know, a lot of people, like I was an 18-year-old in the military. If I had to change that again, I would definitely go to college before I would go to the military and utilize as much as the resources that they offered me while I could stay home, instead of struggling towards the end, like scrambling, going to college, having kids, having a full-time job, and now being an entrepreneur with little kids and an older parent.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I get that as a parent myself. It's like, do you probably get asked, like, how do you do it? How do you do it all?
I don't sleep.
Sleep when I'm dead.
Sleep, yeah. I sleep with one eye closed and one eye open. So today, you know, this time here, this few days, I've been able to sleep a lot, which is great.
That's excellent. Well, we really appreciate you coming here. I want you to tell everyone who's listening or watching where they can find you, where they can connect with you, understand your business, if they want to invest or whatever it is. Where can we find you?
Our website is DeltaProFL, FL as in Florida.com. Same thing with Instagram and Facebook. And you can hit me up anytime or in LinkedIn.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on. Best of luck. Excellent work today, and really happy to welcome you to the Warrior Rising Tribe.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.